Hello, good evening all. Okay, good evening all. Yesterday we have discussed about some of the functions and then conditional blocks and then other concepts. And the final of the session we have made a mini project which is option based quiz system based on the user provided input. It will match with the provided answers and will provide the score and grade. Yesterday we have done that mini project. Now we will discuss some of the concepts in the today's session, like concepts covered in the session, like accessing elements by using getElementById and getElementById and querySelector. By using getElementById and querySelector, we are going to access the elements and then handling the events like click, on change, on hover, on blur, on mouse, and then these are all the events which we will discuss in the today's session. And then creating and modifying HTML elements with JavaScript. Now we will discuss all these concepts in today's session. Can we start the session? First of all, let me have a question like, what is DOM? Can anybody have listened the word DOM? DOM. Does anybody have any idea about the word DOM? DOM. Kindly reply. Okay, let me tell what is DOM. Document Object Model. DOM stands for Document Object Model. stands for Document Object Model is a programming interface. It is a programming interface for web development. DOM is a programming interface for web development. The users of DOM can the DOM who use DOM for dynamically access and update the content, structure, and then style of the document. By using DOM, we can dynamically access and update the content, structure, and then styles of the document. By using DOM, we can update the HTML content. Is this clear? DOM stands for Document Object Model. With the help of DOM, it allows the programmer to dynamically access and update the content, structure, and style of the document. Is this clear? Anybody have any doubt? You have to understand, like, DOM is nothing but it is the bridge. It is like a bridge between JavaScript and HTML and CSS. It is a bridge between HTML, CSS, and then JavaScript. In between JavaScript and HTML, CSS, it is like a bridge. The main objective of DOM is to dynamically change the HTML content. With the in the DOM, we have two methods, two key methods to access the elements, such as getElementById and querySelector. With these two methods, we access the HTML elements. Let me have an example, then we will easily understand what is DOM and how to access HTML elements and then all. Is my screen is visible? Hello, I need reply from you. Okay, let us have a basic program to understand about what is DOM and then how to access the HTML elements. Let us have a basic program. Let us start with some example. Like today we will run the HTML code. In the HTML code, we will run the JavaScript in HTML code. Let me open my folder. Inside HTML, we have to provide the script code over here. Let us mention script tag. Inside script, we have to define the content. Before that, let me initialize. Let me have a paragraph tag. Inside paragraph, I will mention a ID. I will mention the ID as hint. I will mention the ID name as hint, and then the paragraph inside I have placed nothing. In the script, I will by use the help of script, I will print something over here. Let me show you. Document dot get element by id dot inner html equals to, this is a hint for user. When I run this program, you can able to see in the paragraph the content will be visible. I have mentioned this content in script tag, but you can able to see the output. Once again, see the program. I have mentioned like document dot get element by id. It will access the id. In the id, I have placed hint, so I have considered hint, and then I use dot inner html. In the sense, it will replace the html content with this particular content. Is this clear? If you have any doubt, you can raise in the chat box. Now let us perform some other programs to understand better about the DOM and then get element by ID and other things. Let me have over the code. Now I will mention a paragraph. Inside paragraph, I will mention ID. To that ID, I will make my text as the ID text, and then inside I will mention hello developers. Now we are making a program like when I click a button, we have to change the content in the paragraph text. Now we are performing a program like when the user hits this particular button, the content should change. We are performing on click event. When the user clicks on the particular button, the text should change. I will mention change as the button. Now you can able to see the output of this particular program will be like this. You can able to see I have created a button change. The text is hello developers. I have made the text as hello developers and have placed a button change. If I click, nothing changes. Now let us write a function to change the content in the paragraph tag. Let us write a function like function I have mentioned. Let us mention the function name as change text. Then I have closed the function like let I have mentioned. Let us mention a variable like let text equals to document dot get element by id. I have mentioned the id as my text, so I will place the my text over here because we have to change the particular paragraph. On clicking on this particular button, we have to change the particular paragraph. So I have mentioned id for the particular paragraph and have utilizing the particular id over here. And then when I click the particular paragraph, the content should change. So text dot inner html equals to goodbye developers. I have mentioned like goodbye developers. Now we have to call the function over here. When click a particular button, it should call the particular function. So I will mention the function over here. Change the text is a function. So we use in this format. Now let us see the output. You can able to see hello developers. When I click on the particular button, you can able to see the text has been changed to goodbye developers. Just have mentioned the program like when click on the particular button, the text will change. This will be happen with the particular id like and the button. There is nothing over here. Just this button calls the particular function itself. It doesn't do nothing. Just it will call the particular function change text function on clicking on the particular button. Now we have to change the particular paragraph. So let us mention a variable and then document dot get element by id and then my text as the particular id and then text dot inner html to replace the value with this particular content. Is this clear? Get element by id will be finds the element by its unique id. Based on the unique id, it will change the element. Find a element by its unique id. But the query selector will be finds a element using a css selectors like class id. Let us have an example on the query selector as well. This is get element by id. Let us have the same example over here. Another example. Let us mention a div. I will mention the class as box and then inside I will mention the box is open. I have mentioned the text like the box is open. Now I will place a button. In the button I will mention on click function. On click I will function let us mention the function name as close box will be the function name, and then mention the button as close. Now I have to write the script. Inside script I have to mention the function. I have mentioned the function name as close box, and then box document.querySelector. Where you can able to see this is getElementById. Here we are using querySelector. I have mentioned dot operator because it is a class. Based on the class we are updating the content, so dot, and then we have to update the content, so box dot inner HTML equals to the box is closed. You can able to see I have mentioned the box is closed. When I run the program, when I click the box is open, the box will be closed. At the same time you can change the colors as well. If I remove box dot display none, and then I will mention something, you can able to see when I run, click on the particular close button, you can able to see the text has been disappeared because I have mentioned box dot style dot display equals to none. By mentioning this, it will hide the particular class by placing none in the particular area by applying style like none. Is this clear? The main difference is between querySelector and getElementById is based on the querySelector will be updated based on the selectors like dot, which is class, and id, and here it will update the content based on the unique id. Is this clear? Okay, now let us perform another program for your understanding. I will mention another code. Let us mention a div. Inside div I will mention id. In this id I will mention the id name as box, and then I will apply style. The style will be width. I will mention width as 100 px, and then I will mention height as also 100 px, and then I will apply background color. Background I will mention background itself, background as blue. I have mentioned this one. For this you can able to see the output will be, you can able to see a box with blue color. Let us make a function like when click on the particular button we have to change the color of the particular box. Let us mention button on click, change color will be the function name. Change color, then we will mention the script function change color. The color will be changed to red. You can able to see when I click on the particular button change color, you can able to see the color has been changed to red. Wait, हो जी कहाँ चले गए टाउन को भी आते हाँ टाउन को बैठो आते हूँ हाँ? हाँ? नहीं वहाँ गए टाउन गए please wait for a minute, have the look at the code. If you have any doubts, please mention in the chat box. Until have a look on the code. Does anybody have any doubt regarding till now? Is this clear how this particular function works? When I click on the particular button, how the color changes and then how the content changes. The main difference between the text change and the color change is nothing but here you can able to see here I have mentioning inner HTML in the sense it will replace the content in between tags. Here I have mentioned style, then background color as red. I have using style attribute and then background color. I will be red. Is this clear? Let us have some more examples. Some of the events like on hover and then on click. Till now have doing with on click event, have utilizing on click event to modify the content. Now we will discuss about on hover. Let us write a program. Let us modify this alone. having a box with height 100 px and then width as 100 px, background color as blue, and then we have, let us remove the button because we are performing on hover, so I will remove the particular button, and then I will mention some content. Hover me on hover, it is like when I take the mouse on the particular box, the color should change. This is the program. Now we are writing inside script. I have to change the script. Here you can able to see I have mentioned a box. Let us read box. I have mentioned id box. For the box I have mentioning document.getElementById. The same box is the particular id, and then applying a event listener. Like this is the event listeners we are using. This is a event like on hover, on click, these are all events. So I have mentioned add event listener for the particular id. For the particular variable box, it will apply a event listener on mouse over. You can able to see mouse over. It will call the function which is box doll style will be background color will be red, and then applying another like box dot add event listener mouse out. When I take mouse on out of the particular box, it will call another function, which the function will make the box style color background color will be blue. Let me have the output. You can able to see this is the particular box which you have made. Is the function is correct? Debug the function. Does there is any changes I have to mention? Yeah, I can able to see there are some errors over here. Now you can able to see. Have a look. When I take mouse on the particular box, the color will change. When I take the mouse out of the box, the color will change to its normal color. When I hover, will change the color to red. When I take the mouse out, it will change to its normal color. This is mouse over. This is mouse over, and then this is mouse out. Mouse over, mouse out. Is this clear? Then let us move with another. Now we will discuss focus and blur. Focus and blur. Focus and blur in the sense, when you click on a particular tab into a input field, it will focus the input field. When you take an example, like if you take an input field, when you click on the particular input, it will be focus the particular area. Let me have example like input type as text. You can able to see this is a input field. When I click, you can able to see the entire input field has been focused. This is focus. And then when I click outside, you can able to see again it will go into its normal form. This is blur. Let me have example. Let us make an input field as well. Input field type as text, and then id, I will provide id as input field. Then placeholder will be click here. I will mention click here. By this you can able to see a input field and the placeholder will be click here. When you type, the placeholder will be escape. And then let us apply a paragraph tag. First of all, we will discuss the focus event. Let us write the script for the focus event. Script, in the script, let input field with the input field, then input dot add event listener focus. Then it will call the function. Inside the function, we will have to write the inside input, we will write the message input style to be background color as yellow. In this program, you can able to see when I particularly click on the particular input field, the background color will be changes to yellow color. This is focus. When the mouse focus on the particular input field, the color will be changes to particular. On hover, the color not changes. When I particularly focus on click on the particular function, the input field color will be changes. You can able to see this is on focus. When the mouse particularly focus on the particular input field, the color will be changes. Now blur. Let us have a blur function too. In this function, I will make the blur function as well. Let us mention a paragraph. Inside paragraph, I will mention id. For this id, I will provide message as the id value. And then I will provide no focus yet. Now inside I will mention message dot inner html equals to input is focus. Input is focus. Then the color will be changes to yellow. And then let me have focus input dot add event listener as blur. We are discussing about blur. Then have to call the function. Inside the function, message dot inner html to be input lost focus. Input lost focus. Then input dot style. We are getting the same background color when the focus background to be white. When I run the program, you can able to see have not yet focus. When I click, let me check. Is there any changes to be made? I have to mention inner HTML as in this capital format. When I click on the particular input field, the color changes, and then you can able to see the message is the input is focus. When I click on the particular input field, when I click outside, you can able to see input is focus on blur, add event listener, blur function, message.inner.html, input lost focus, and then input.style background to be white. Here input field is the ID name, not input, so it doesn't show me the output. You can able to see now when I focus, the input is focus. When I back, here I have mentioned to mention the variable message document.getElementById, and then we have to mention the ID name as message. We have to mention over here. Then the word works. When I click the input as focus, when I click outside, it should blur message. Is there any changes? If you see any wrong in this, kindly reply. Does anybody see any changes? Yeah, input field dot event listener. When I click, it will focus. On blur, it will lose the focus. Here the function does nothing. Like here we have to declare two variables, which is for the input field, and then this is for the message field. Then we have input field as a class. We have add event listener. On focus, it should convert the inner HTML content to be message, in the sense it will change the paragraph tag inner HTML to be in the input is focus, and then for the input class input ID, the style background will be applied as yellow. And then here you can able to see another event has been called. On blur, it will call the another function. The message will be changed to input lost focus, and then input field for this particular ID, it will make the style background color as white. Is this clear? Now let us make another program to show type text in the input field. Let us make an input field, input type as text, and then I will mention the ID as input. Now I will provide the input ID, and then I will apply placeholder as type here. Then the output should be showcased over below, so I will mention paragraph tag. Inside paragraph I will mention the ID as message. I will mention, I have already used message, so I will use text. Then I will mention you typed nothing. Then we will write the you use input field dot style dot background, where you can use in the both the format, background color in the sense the same as background. You can use in this format also. Now let us write the script. Inside script, let us mention a variable input as the variable name, and then I will mention document dot get element by id. Then I will mention the id field as input, so I'll apply over here. Then let's mention for the output, I will mention another variable text. I will mention the same document dot get element by id. I will mention the id as text. I have assigned the particular values to this particular two variables. Then I will apply input. I have used the id as input, so I will provide id as input dot add. For this particular id, I will apply add event listener. The event listener should be key up, and then you should call a function. On particular key up, you should call the function. For this function, text dot inner html equals to you type. I will provide the message over here, you typed plus input dot value, input dot value. In the input what you enter, it will be showcased over here. Let me show you the output. This is the condition which I have read over here. There is an input field. When you type something, you can able to see in the output field. You can able to see the with the text I have entered. You can get key up in the sense when you press and let us take an example like in the you can able to see a button in the keyboard. When you press, the key will go down, and then when you take your finger up, the key will comes up. This is the function. When the key up, it will provide the output. When I click, it will not provide output, but when I take my finger out, the output will be showcased over here. Is this clear? Key up function. Are you clear with key up function? Hello, is this clear with the key up function? See the code. This is the code which I am using. This is another event. We have key up event and then another event like input event. Surendra is asking like, why are you using key up function instead of input? We can use input also. Let me have an example for input. In this I will modify. Let me take the code. I will place it over here. It will showcase error because we have already defined this particular variables. So I will mention input 1. Then this is text 1. I will mention the IDs as well. Input 1, text 1. Here I will change the event as input dot function. Here I have to mention 1 and then text 1 input text 1 dot inner HTML. You type input dot value. Let us use different variables so it will be so clear. I'll mention ID as, let us comment it out. I'll mention the type as input and then placeholder as same. Then for this I will provide the ID should be output, so I will mention output as the ID. Then input equals to document dot get element by ID as input. Then the output document dot get element by, I have mentioned the ID as output. Then input dot add event listener input function. Here I have provided output inner HTML equals to, you type input dot value. You can able to see We can use key up and input in the same format. You can use both. Have a break for 5 minutes. After the break, we will make a mini project based on the event listeners. We will make a simple project, mini project based on the event listeners. Have a 5 minutes break and come fast. After that, we will create a mini project. Okay, let us create a mini project which is a simple mini project like click counter. Like the user will post a comment. On the comment will be appending a click function, like there will be a heart symbol. On clicking on the particular heart symbol, it will calculate the number of likes the user has been clicked on the particular comment. Can we make the project? Okay, let's build the basic program. Let us start with HTML. Then let us make the name the title as live comment box app. Live comment box app. Now there should be an input field. So let us make input field. Let us mention h1 heading as let us use some emojis to make it more attractive. Live comment. Then we have input field. Input type as text. I will mention id. Id will be comment input. Input. Then we will place a placeholder. For the placeholder, we will press type your comment. Now let us place a button. For this button, let us mention post as the value inside post. I will mention id for this button. For this button, we will mention name as post button. We will mention the id as post button. Now the output of the particular program will be like the output will be like this. You can able to see a input field and then a post button over here. This is live comment, then input field and then post button. Now there should be create like when I enter something and then when I click the particular post button, a container should form. Inside there should be a like button. On clicking, the count should increase. Now let us write the script for the particular functionality. Inside script tag, we have to mention the script. Now let us mention variable const for this keyword. For this const keyword, let us declare a variable which is for the post button. For post button, I will use document dot get element by id. Get element by id. I will mentioning the post button. Post button. Then we have post button completed. Post button. We have input. Let us create input. Here we let us create a section for displaying the comment. So let us create a div. For this div, I will mention id. In this id, I will mention comment section. Here the comments will be displayed over here. Now let us declare each variable. I will declare another const. I have completed with post button. Now comment input equals to document dot get element by id, and then the id value. Comment input. Now we have comment section. Let us create for this same. Here we'll mention comment section, and then here also we'll mention comment section. We have declared three variables for this for this input field, for this button, and then for the output field. Now for post button, on clicking on the particular post button, we have to create the comment section. So for the post button, when click, let us add a event listener, like add event listener. On clicking it should make, so I will mention click. I will mentioning as a function. In this function the logic should come. So const comment equals to comment input dot value. I will mention trim function. Trim function in the functionality of trim function is nothing but it will remove the spaces. It will remove the spaces, extra spaces. It will remove the extra white spaces. Trim, and then let us check whether the comment has typed or not. We have to check, like if the input is empty, and then when the user click on the particular post button, the comment is empty, but the user clicks on the post button, we have to say showcase a alert message like we have nothing typed like message. So let us mention if condition, if comment, if empty, then we have to showcase a alert like please type something, please type something. Let us have a trial. When I try to post directly, you can able to see I have nothing type in the comment input, so it will showcasing a error over here. If I type something and click, the error will not show me because I have typed the value. If I place empty and type enter, you will get a error message like this. For this I am handling this logic over here. Then I will mention return directly. Now if you enter something, it should move to the below conditions. Now I will mention const another variable new comment as the variable name. For this I will assign document dot create element. I use create element. I use create element event, and then I will create a element like div. I will create a div. I will create div, and then inside div I have to showcase the text. So new comment dot class name. For this particular div I will be assigning class name as comment. And then for the new comment, I will mentioning the inner HTML to be changed to I will place a paragraph tag. Inside paragraph I will place the comment, typed comment inside paragraph. I'll place comment in the paragraph tag, and we have to place a button for it, for the like symbol. I'll place a button. I'll mention class for the button. The class to be like button. For this button I will mention place some like symbol, and then I will provide content like. Inside span I will provide the count initially as 0. I will provide initially the score value as 0, and I will close the span tag, and then I will close the button. And then finally I will close the logic. Let us have a view and type something, and then when I post, the content should be placed over here. Let us append the content. Just now I have created a element. Till now, how to insert heart? Just press window dot on the keyboard. Just enter window dot. You will be pop up this particular sidebar. You can able to search the emojis over here. There, just press window dot to get these emojis. Till now we have created a container. Like inside div, I have mentioned the class name as comment, and then inside I have appending the comment input, and then I am applying a like button to the particular div. Till now I have created the content. Now it's time to append the content. So I will mention comment section, because the comment section, inside the comment section the value should be appended. So I will append child. I will use append child as new comment. I'll append the new comment variable. And then comment input to be clear. When the input, let us have a trial. When I type something and then post, you can able to see the content has been appended, but the value is still there. Now let us remove by placing comment input value to be empty. So I will place empty. Now when you see the output, when I type anything then click post, you can able to see the input will be cleared, and then it will append over here. If I type something and then post, you can able to see it will append down by down. Now we have to write the functionality like, when I place, we have to write the particular button count. If I click on the particular button, the count should increment. So let us write the logic for the increment. Now Now mention a variable const like button. I have mentioned the class as like button. For this new comment, for the new comment, I'm using querySelector. QuerySelector, because for this like button I have mentioned, you can able to see where I have mentioned for this button like button I have mentioned in the class like button. So I have used to use dot then like button class, then the count should be display. So I will display const like count. Like button, for the like button itself dot I will use querySelector again. For this span I will apply the particular thing. You can able to see in the span alone I have mentioned the count. You can able to see inside the span tag alone I have mentioned the count. So I will use the span tag to append the likes count. Then initially let us assume the likes to be 0. Initially the likes are 0. For this like button I will apply a event listener. On particular click the value should increment. I will apply likes plus plus, then like count dot text content equals to likes. Then I will close the logic. I will close the logic. If you run, you can able to see when I post, when I click, the count increments. Until see the code, I will be in the minute. Hello G. 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 दरवाजा खोलो जी. हो गया. Now you can able to see the count increments. On particular click, the count will be increment. When I click another comment, initially the comment will be 0. When I click, the count will be increment. Let us make the UI more attractive by applying some styles to the particular code. Here I will apply some styles. Inside style tag, I will apply some styles to the particular program. The styles to be for the body, I will apply the styles initially. I will apply font family as I'll apply something, and then I'll apply font family, and then I will apply padding of 20 px, and then max width of the input field to be 600 px. I will apply 600 px input field, and then I will apply margin auto. Now let us apply the styles to the comment section. So I will provide comment dot comment, because comment is a class. I'll apply margins as 0. I will apply something like 10 px, and then 0, padding 10 px, background border radius. I will apply border radius 8 px. I will make rounded. Then I will, for the like button, I will apply some css. For like button, I will apply margin top 5 px, cursor I will apply pointer, color as blue. Now you can able to see how it looks actually. This is the final output. When I place something, comment, when post, you can able to see in this format the output will be like this. When I place something, and then is this clear? I will share the project in the WhatsApp group. Go through it. If you hand it out, ask in the next session. Go through the line by line of code. Then you will easily understand. Then thank you. Today we will wind up the session.